What you're about to see are passionate, dedicated and trained people practicing and preparing to enter an extreme sporting event that may change their lives. Do not try this on your own without necessary experience and supervision.
Breathe in, breathe out. This moment's what it's all about. Born to be great, your goal to waste. Don't hesitate. Xcellerate!
Set for the race, aim to give it all I got. Mind is set, gonna reach the high spot. Working hard in order to fulfill my goal. Nothing can stop me from getting what I'm going for. That's being great. I was working tirelessly, so I won't hesitate. Gotta get to first place. Hands on the golden plate. I concentrate. Won't hit the brake. Just move forward. Xcellerate. Welcome back to Xcellerate. Last week, we met 8-year-old gymnast Kaylee Anders and saw how she preps for her upcoming national gymnastics event. She's got a bit of downtime now, so we'll catch up with her next week. We also saw how 15-year-old Formula Vee driver Byron Mitchell gets himself ready for his upcoming events. In other racing formulas, the car's capacity and design can influence winning or losing. But in Formula Vee, winning is based almost entirely on the driver's skills. Byron has 3 important race meetings left over the next 3 weeks. We're going to find out if he's got what it takes to maintain his lead in his championship and bring home the title.
I'm going to be doing the next 3 races over the next 3 weeks. First up, I'll be racing in a Formula Libre national race meeting, and then the following 2 weeks will be the 2 regional race meetings. Currently, I'm leading the championship. The nationals will give me some good practice towards the regionals. I only race nationals when they are in the province. My main focus is regional competitions. If I win my next 2 regional race meetings, I will be the overall champion for the season, and that means a lot to me because this is my very first season racing Formula Vee. This is a normal car. It has 4 brake calipers on each wheel. It's a 4-cylinder motor which isn't fuel injected. It's run by carburation. As you can see, we've got the carbs here. And this right here is the air box which intakes all of our air as we're going down the straight. Then on the side here, inside these pods, we have our radiators which keeps our motor cool. Here are our tie rods, these funny looking things on the side of the car, tie rods. That helps us set up our wheel alignment and all of that. And it may not seem like it, but wheel alignment and setup of the car is probably one of the most important things people can do in these cars. So if we have a look in the car here, sit on my petrol tank, but the steering wheel has a simple quick release on the back here. So in case you're ever caught in a fire or if you're upside down on the car, you just pull that and slide the steering wheel off so you can hop out easier. So we have our dashboard that sits behind my steering wheel. So pretty much this tells me my oil, my water pressure, my revs per minute, my speed I'm going. When I need to change gears, the RPM light starts flashing, so that indicates to me when I need to change from any gears I want to. Because over here we have the gear lever that runs through to the gearbox at the back of the car, through the car here, all the way to the back gearbox under all of this mechanisms and exhaust pipes and everything. And it's a normal Beetle gearbox. It's got 4 gears. And unlike normal cars, it's on the right-hand side. I would say Formula Vee is the cheapest way to get into racing, or single-seater racing, if I can put it like that, because it may not look like it, but Formula Vee racing is cheaper than go-karting. This event is so important to me because I'm currently leading the Western Cape Championship, and this event can determine whether I stay in the lead or whether I drop down the order. If I win this event coming up, I will feel very happy because that means that I will maintain my lead in the championship, or I'll actually open the lead up in the championship. If I don't do so well in the event, I won't beat myself up about it. I'll say to myself, don't let this bother you. There's still 2 more races at the end of the year. And then I'll keep going, keep trying my hardest.
After the break, we'll see if Byron can put pedal to the metal and get a result in his next national race day. In the meantime, if you have the thrill for extreme sports, tell us about it on our Facebook page. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Accelerators. We are burning rubber with 15-year-old Formula Vee driver Byron. He's got 3 race meetings left this season and is currently leading the regional championship. Can he stay in gear for just 3 more race days? Let's find out.
So first up is the Cape Town Killarney Nationals. In this race day, there will be about 25 Formula Vee drivers competing from all around the country. My chances of winning is not great because I'm up against tough competition and many of them are more experienced than me, but I'm going to use this opportunity to get some race experience and to perhaps learn a thing or two from the other races. First, I have to do a qualifier. I line up in the pits with all the other drivers and the qualifier starts. I notice a strange noise coming from my engine and it doesn't sound too good at all. I make my way off the track and stop the car. I'm very annoyed because we spent most of the day and night setting up the car yesterday.
So I qualified last, obviously because I didn't even do the qualifying. I made it down the main straight and I didn't even get to do the first corner, so I didn't get to finish a lap.
I'm a bit irritated that we can't seem to find out what's wrong.
We probably will fix it if there's something wrong. But if we can't, then yeah, we can't ride.
What got me is when you came in, it looked like you put the car back in neutral and you were coasting and it was going click, 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 click. When the horse turned on, the car was still going tick, and then down the whole back straight.
First gear wasn't set up.
Maybe the clutch is not set properly.
I could roll forward in neutral without the clutch.
So we put the car back together again to troubleshoot it. And when I started the car, my friend Jonty noticed one of the suspension rods were fitted incorrectly.
That must be on the side.
Huh?
That must be on the side.
That might have been what happened. It was hitting the other wheels. We had a tuk-tuk. Here's the wheel weight. We found the problem.
This is meant to be on the other side.
Road speed, man.
Yes, it's all that for nothing.
What the fuck? Say how,
Take your wheels off quick. Swap them.
So we quickly refitted the wheels and I made my way to the starting grid for my race. And I had a bit of wheel spin off the start, so 2 people managed to get past me on the start. And I tried to stay with them, but I took a very wrong line and I lost grip halfway through the corner and I couldn't get my power down as fast as they could. So they started pulling a gap towards turn 2. So as I approached turn 2, I saw someone's wheels lock up and smoke flying in the air. Then as I came closer to the corner, I noticed 2 people went straight off the track. So we worked our way down through to turn 3, and I was quite a far distance behind the car in front of me because obviously my tires were still cold and I was still struggling to warm them up. And I was trying to keep the guys that were behind me. And then one guy came past me coming out of turn 3. I ran wide and he came on the inside past me. Then we got down to the back straight. On this back straight, I can easily reach speeds up to 190 kilometers per hour, depending on the weather and the day. If it's a really good day and the wind is behind us and we get slipstream, it is possible to go 205. He locked up his wheels in front of me, which left a bit of smoke in my face, but nothing terrible. So I was coming down the main straight and Richard Carr passed me on my inside and he got in front of me because he carried my slipstream down the whole main straight. And as we entered turn 1, I braked a little bit early and I geared down early, and I saw that he started losing the car once and then twice and then he gripped, but I was too scared to go on the inside in case he did lose it and he rammed into the side of me. But I jumped on brakes because of that, and that caused me to lose speed going into turn 2, where I saw my teammate Elroy Weiss come up on the inside of me. So I thought, okay, well, 2 people have passed me now in 2 corners, so let me try sit on their tail. But I ran wide in turn 2 to let Elroy pass, so I lost my speed going into turn 3. So then they already started pulling a gap, and my car was already struggling with front wheel camber, and I was sliding around, and this just wasn't a lap for me. So as we come onto the back straight, they had pulled a massive amount on me. So I was pretty much just racing around the track. And then I managed to finish 11th overall out of 25 drivers. So it wasn't a bad day, but it wasn't a great day as well, considering it was my first national race in Formula Vee. The car performed better because we did some changes throughout the day. So at the end of each race, we go through a process called scrutineering, and this is pretty much where we have to go and park our cars and weigh our cars, and then the scrutineers, the people that look at our cars after the race, make sure that we haven't got any oil leaks or any water leaks coming out of the car, and they just weigh our cars and make sure everything's perfectly fine with the cars. This was my first ever nationals in Formula Vee, and I think that this nationals, they taught me a lot. They taught me how to choose the right lines, they taught me where to brake, where not to brake. They taught me things that I would have never taught myself. The experience I gained from the nationals will help me in the next upcoming regional events, because most of the regional guys here didn't manage to get proper racing in, whereas a few of us did. And that proper racing may not look like it teaches you a lot, but it really does. So I think that I've got a good chance of winning the championship this year for the Western Province. So this is the Power Series at Killarney, and it's a local event where people from around Cape Town come to watch and enjoy some good motor racing. Some race days Killarney has a thing called a parade. So pretty much at lunchtime, an allocated class of cars will go down to Malmesbury Straight, which is between turn 3 and turn 4. And this will give the opportunity for the crowd to come onto the track and look at our cars and get in our cars and take photos with our cars and all of that. And after this parade, we got ready. Okay, so I was on the line and I was starting in 4th position overall, but in my class I was starting 2nd. I got a great start off the line and I kept my 2nd position. All the way through turn 1 was all clean. And then in turn 2, I didn't expect the car in front of me was going to brake as early as he did. And my front nose cone, it was very, very close to him. So I locked up my wheels, which means that I jumped on the brakes too hard. So it locked all my wheels up, causing smoke, and it caused me to spin off. So I had to come back onto the track, but I was obviously last. I had to let everyone go. I was trailing behind and managed to work my way up to third place, trying at least to get second. I was waiting for an opportunity to overtake him. I knew I couldn't take him on the corners, so I stuck to his racing lines. And when we were on the back straights, I used his slipstream to slingshot my way past him and stayed in second place.
And that's where I finished, but hopefully race 2 will go better and maybe get a first. I'd say that the area was on my side and the car side because the car's tires weren't to full working temperature yet, and I was pushing them to the absolute limit, and I was too close to the car in front and I had to jump on brakes, otherwise I would have driven straight into the back of them. So.
After the break, we'll find out if Byron can end his second last race day on a high. Meanwhile, check out our Facebook page, like, and tell us about your extreme sport. Who knows? You might be the next Xcelerator. Welcome back, guys. This is Xcellerate. Today, we'll find out if 15-year-old Formula Vee driver Byron can maintain his lead in the regional championship. He's about to compete in his last race for this day. Will he see the checkered flag first, or will he be left in the dust? Let's find out.
So after scrutineering, I bring the car back to the pits and I refuel the car, make sure my tire pressures are all right, and I take my front nose cone off so I'm able to check my brake fluid after each session. Checking your brake fluid after every race and every practice is very important because if you don't, it can be a very dangerous thing to play with if you don't check it. We got ready and we lined up for race 2. I got a very good initial pull away, but then as soon as I changed to second gear, I missed my second gear, so causing me to lose a lot of distance, so causing the car behind me to pass me. So as we entered turn 3, I thought, no, I felt the car had a lot of grip, so I thought, let me go around the outside. So I pushed the car into the outside position, and I managed to find some grip, and I managed to pass him on the outside of turn 1 and on the inside of turn 2. Now I'm trailing behind William Weiss, and I just can't seem to catch up to him because we're both doing our lines correctly. And only way for me to overtake him is to wait for him to make a mistake, which it doesn't seem like he's going to do. Even though I'm going at 190 kilometers an hour, I still can't catch him. Coming down the back straight, Damien White was on my inside and he passed me down the back straight because he used my slipstream to get past me. As I was coming down the main straight, my teammate Elroy Weiss decided to pop his nose in on the left of me, so I had nothing else I could do and I had to let him in. And as we came into turn 2, I thought, let me chug around the outside of Damien, but I thought to myself again, no, it's very, there's not much rubber in turn 2, so I don't want to risk and put the car off the track. So I thought, fine, I'll just play a waiting game. So I stayed behind him. And I said, okay, so as we got into turn 4, I got better drive out of him, used his slipstream, and yet again passed him. As we came down the back straight for the last time, Garth de Villiers passed us in his Formula Volkswagen, and this car is a faster car than all of our cars. So it was a race to the line. And yeah, going down the straight, it feels faster than what it is, and it's faster than what it looks because we are so low to the ground. And we got to the line, and the overall results for this race was Ulrich Weiss, and then me, and then behind me was William Weiss. At the end of the race, we go to scrutineering after the checkered flag to make sure that the scrutineers, the people that check our cars, can make sure that our cars don't have any oil leaks or any water leaks. I hopped out my car and I just gave my teammate Ulrich Weiss, who came first, a little bit of a well done, and he gave me a well done because we had a 1-2 finish. And they just hand us a bottle of water because racing in a single-seater car with a suit can become very hot and very tiring. And he was just explaining to me what I was doing wrong and what I must try and improve for next race. And I was just explaining to him what was happening with my car and all of that. I finished second in my final race. I'm quite happy about the result. It means I'm on track to becoming the youngest Formula Vee series champion. I think my day went very well for me, and I think there's a lot of things we can improve on, but I wasn't expecting any of the things that happened to happen. But I always come into a race saying just have as much fun as possible and see what comes out of it. I got second place overall for the day. I'm very happy about that because I maintained my lead in the championship. It was a very fun day, and I'm sure everyone, all the spectators and everyone enjoyed it. This currently means that I'm still holding the championship lead by 3 points. Racing against more experienced drivers doesn't really intimidate me that much because I've come from a racing background where I've been racing since I was 4. I've got the experience in my hands, but obviously sometimes it's a bit challenging. They know a little bit more than me sometimes, but I just put the pedal to the metal and go for it.
So after 2 tough race days, Byron still leads the regional championship in his class. He's got 1 more race day to claim the title for the season. Tune in next week to see if he can make history by becoming the youngest Formula Vee champion in the country. We'll also catch up with 8-year-old gymnast Kaylee and see if she can grab a medal in her national event. Don't miss out. In the meantime, check out our Facebook page for more news and views.